Hey Robert, how's it going? Happy okay, it's Monday. I'm like, what day is it? It's Monday. Hey Kathy, hey Simone. Hey, Karis, what's up? Where are you? Are you back in India? What are you doing? Where are you? It's good to see you. Every once in a while I catch a live of yours and I'm like, oh, so good. Yeah, keep going. Not a ton of us out there still going, right? Yeah. Anyway. So how's everybody? Hey Jarrett, how's it going? It's good to see you. You're in Spain. Did you move to Spain? Or are you just visiting? What are you doing? Did you move? What are you doing? I want to know. Nice. You've been there a minute, right, though? Hey, Ray Ray. I promise that I never will leave you. It's funny how the seasons change. The more that I try to forget you, it's funny how things stay the same. Without a rhyme or reason, when I look into your eyes, I know that I found forever. No hiding and no disguises. Reunion of souls, of mind, of space, over time, every place. I look and I see your face, everywhere, constant reminder of everything I wanna be. Here I am and how with you I can be free. Hey Dara. Ooh, that's cool. You're going to, oh, I wish I was in New York. Be nice to see you face to face, right? It's amazing what the soul can remember, no matter what the day or time, or the appointed hour. All I know is your soul and mine are so joyful together. It's as if we found a perfect way being together. So tell me, how can we stay apart? Can we stay apart? In a place before now, reunion. Hey Terry, hi Mike. A place before here. We were called to this place, and I'm glad to be standing here. Sometimes the truth's painful, but a leap of faith is all it takes. Close your eyes, don't get discouraged. Spread your wings and just let the winds of change blow free. Just believe they will hold you if you dare to close your eyes and soar free. Soar free. Hey Michelle. Free, free, free. My soul is free, free. My soul is free, free. My soul is free. Hey Mom Judy, it's good to see you. Oh, Andrew, hey darling, how you doing? Good to see you. So how's everybody doing? Y'all good? Yeah, I was just thinking, Michelle, what to do for you. I think we're gonna start here. Do this one. Yeah. I was warned as a child of 13 not to act too strong. Try to look like you belong, girl, but don't push, girl. Save your time and money, and don't misbehave. I was raised in a no you don't world, overrun with rules. Memorize your lines and move as directed. That's an age-old story. Everybody knows it's a worn-out song. Oh, darling girl, ooh, sorry, but you. Right, don't misbehave, me, I know, imagine. And I are changing, that too. We're learning new rhythms from the woman in the moon. Now little sister and little brother, don't believe a word about things you heard about asking too much too soon. 'Cause they can hold back the tide, but they can never hold the woman in the moon. I believe there's a best of both worlds, mixing old and new. Recognizing change is seldom expected, as I long expected. They believe that strange was a word for wrong. Well, not in my song, 'cause you and I are changing that tune. Here am I. We're learning new rhythms from the woman in the moon. Well, little sister and little brother, keep on pushing. Don't believe a word about things you heard about asking too much too soon. 'Cause they can hold back the tide, but they can never hold the woman in the moon. They can't hold the woman in the moon. They can't hold the woman in the moon. Hey, Miss Eleanor. Terry, I was just thinking about you. It's so funny. Late last night, I know I should have been sleeping, but your voice returned me to another season. Hey, LaJanine. I'm not dry, so let it rain. Thunder and lightning falling from the sky. I am not afraid of a little water, and I'm not afraid of you and I. 'Cause I made a list, checked it twice. Baby, you are everything, everything on it. Who knew that you'd show up so nice, so nice, leaving me frustrated and haunted, with your voice ringing in my ears, ringing, come and play with me as if there's no tomorrow. There is only this roof, moon and stars, and 2 guitars and a little piano. So let it rain, thunder and lightning falling from the skies. I am not afraid of a little water, and I'm not afraid of you and I. Falling like the raindrops, ooh, through a wide and open sky, through clouds so heavy laden they can't help it cry. Okay, so there's a fan. I have a fan next to me and it oscillates, and so it's just a breeze. Hey Maria, glad to know you're feeling better. La Janine, did we celebrate your birthday? Soul to soul, heart to heart, your belly to my back. Where we've gone, there can be no turning back. 'Cause you remind me who I am, in my past, my present, and in my future. We are travelers in time, on the endless winding road of life. Baptize me again, and let it rain, thunder and lightning falling from the sky. I am not afraid of a little water. I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid to let it rain, to let it rain, to let it rain, to let it rain. Listen, I don't want him in here, right? But I haven't seen any spiders. Haha. I mean, yes, I do have, a pest guy, but I have not seen any spiders. So perhaps that is how he is feeding himself, because anyway. So yeah, I got the one out, and then I saw Millie over in the corner staring at something, and I was like, oh, here we go. And sure enough, she was looking at him. She wasn't barking. She wasn't trying, So I was like, well, okay. We tried to get him out the same way we got the other one out, but it didn't work. I don't even know if it's the same one. Yes, he's inside. Yes, he is inside. He is inside. He is downstairs, inside. And I don't know where he goes. Like, I see him and then he's gone. Yeah. But they eat black widows apparently, so I'm kind of here for that, because black Black widows are no joke, and we have them. But I haven't seen any this year, maybe because he ate them. I just don't want him having his little girlfriend in there, like, you know, and then like having a bunch of lizard babies. Yikes. So, I mean, he's big. His tail is like, yeah, it's a big one. It's an alligator lizard, and apparently, so Nathan told me yesterday too that they bite. Right. Riley and I got the other one out with you know, a shoebox. We just we scooped him up and scooted him out. But then, you know, a couple weeks later, there's another one, or the other one got back in, and I'm like, dude, what? Why? Why are you here? I just don't want him to crawl in bed with me. I'm just saying, because that would, no. Not at all. Yeah. Listen, he's this long. And the only reason we didn't get him, I didn't want to break his tail off, right? Yeah, no for the, is that my Scotty? Scotty! Hey! Yeah, I'm talking about the lizard that lives in my house. Officially, I have named him Randall. Okay, no palmetto bugs either. No. Just no. No. Yeah, where's Karen? Scotty's been too long. Where you been? Hey, Marvin. Just in time for some Prince. Whenever I feel like giving up, whenever my sunshine turns to rain, whenever my hopes and fears are heading in the wrong direction, he's always there, showing me how much he cares. He's always in my, always in my head. Whenever I feel like life is not so great at all, whenever I am all alone, even if I hit the wrong notes, he's always in my boat, he's always there, telling me how much he cares. He's always in my, he's always in my head, always in my head. Home is where I want to be. Pick me up and turn me around. I feel numb, born with a weak heart. I guess I must be having fun. The less we say about it, the better. Make it up as we go along. Feet on the ground, head in the sky. It's okay, I know nothing's wrong. Nothing. Oh, I got plenty of time. Oh, you've got light in your eyes, and you're standing beside me. I love the passing of time, never for money, always am. And maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just live alone. I know if I was a gigolo all my life, he'd still be there, telling me how much he cares. He's always in my, he's always in my, hey Jules, what's up, baby? Home is where I wanna be, but I guess I'm already there. I come home, he lifts up his wings, guess that this must be the place. I can't tell one from another. Did I find you or you find me? We drift in and out. Oh, singing to my mind. Always in my head. He's always in my head. He's always in my head. What's up, Christopher Smith? How you doing? You good? Yes, I'm expecting a birthday list from you soon, right? All right, let's see. Yeah, Scotty, it's been a long time. Every time I sing Fix You, I think about you. Suddenly I'm hit. Is this the darkness of the dawn? And my friends are gone, and my friends won't come. So show me where you fit. Show me where you fit. I'll wait. So show me where you're strong. Not everybody else. We're alone now. Suddenly I'm hit in the darkness of our dawn, and your friends are gone, and your friends won't come. So show me where you fit. Show me where you fit. Show me. What's up, Adam? How you doing? It's good to see you. It's been a minute. Teaching? Are you back? Yes, no, maybe so. Maria, are you still there? Hopefully. For you. Last night, swimming in the moonlight, I saw a merman swimming out to sea. He whispered softly, "Come, swim with me. You know, you've been searching for me for all your life, and I've been watching you every day and every night. Now there you are in the waves, and I'm here. Swim with me, and baby makes three soon. Don't be afraid of the water, it's not that deep. I won't let you drown unless it's in my own sadness. I'll watch you as you sleep to make sure you stay afloat. And then someday soon there'll be 3 or 4, maybe even 5. Come swim with me, he said to me. And I said, I know you're kind, and I'm not coming over there. It's not safe in the water. Besides, I'll mess my hair up. He lies, exactly. I haven't got time for you tonight. But then the sand between my toes started pulling, as if I were being bold to see. You see, I felt like I was going backwards to the tides taking hold of me, and there he was, this merman swimming in the sea. He took my hand and we swam among the waves, and the moonlight full and sweetly played dances on our heads. And I sang to him on a rock, as any siren would, as any siren would. You know, I sang to him. I thought the merman was in love. It's fun to play with a merman. You never know what you might get. Most of the time it seems that all you get is wet, drenched to the soul, and then you can't dry off. And suddenly you're old and so is everything he says to you. You don't believe him anymore, and still only 2 and 2 is not enough. There needs to be at least 3 for the divine. But I swam at sea that night with he, and loved every minute. Yes, I swam at sea and loved him. So now I don't go to the beach. I'm afraid of the water, I'm scared to swim. But then it only gets harder as my feet slipping against steam rising to the sky. Then look, it's a merman, exactly, and he's swimming up to me. And I think that maybe this time he could be the one for me. You know what they say, all mermen aren't alike. Maybe this one is older than 20, and maybe he could be the one for me. There are so many mermen, so many mermen in the sea. Yeah, Mickey, I miss Genghis too, a lot. Yeah. Sitting across the table, looking at you, longing for normal. 2 kids, a house, a backyard, flowers in spring. Never worried about a thing. Will the baby keep us up at midnight? Or will 3 be her hour once again? Will the school bus run on time in the morning time? Will I have to pick my babies up again? Well, that's not normal. That's not normal. That's not normal. That's not normal. It's 3 a.m. and I'm staring at the clock on the wall again. It didn't really matter, 'cause I'll be sleeping all alone again. It's just the boys and me, starring in a late night fantasy. Hey Michelle, lately I've had other dreams involving other me's, and that's my normal. That's my normal. That's my normal. That's my normal. Welcome to my life. Welcome to my fight. This is who I am. This is where I stand, here at my command, and this is no. Okay, so the guy I wrote the song about, he was actually older than I am, which it's pretty amazing in itself. But you know what? I mean, listen, he was perfect, just not perfect for me. I mean, at the time, he would get up at like 5 a.m. and he went to bed at 8, and I was like, dude, I'm just barely getting to bed around 4. And I'm up all night. So you calling me at 5 a.m. is not even slightly attractive. I think he got married and moved to Ohio. Anyway, if I could change my life, it seems to me I want to be a wife. But as it is, I'm free of you and your civilian tendencies. I go to bed with you. Make love and sleep a while. But then the boys would call me and I'd have to go. But only to the other room, where I'd play all night and sleep all day. And be normal. I'd be normal. Oh, I'd be normal. Normal for me. Sitting across the table looking at you and longing for normal. Normal. Okay, so I'm about to put all my business out there, just for the record. So Normal was about this dude that I met on the train, and we had this incredible conversation, and he was older than I was. We had this whole conversation, like, from 42nd Street to my home. Well, to his, because he lived at the stop before me, which is really crazy because nobody lives on the Q train. But anyway, we had this incredible conversation about literature and life and living and, you know, all these things. And then I found out that he worked with one of my best friend's wives, which was crazy. And when I asked, you know, I was telling her I met this guy. She's like, what's his name? And when I told her, she was like, oh my God, I work with that guy. He's great. And so we went out a couple times, but I don't know that he was too old for me, even though he was older than I am. He was kind of, girl, listen, trust me. Yeah, I mean, he was great. Like, it was the perfect, we went on the perfect date, you know, perfect guy, perfect for somebody else. I mean, he was totally a morning person. And at that time, I couldn't even wrap my brain around, like, why are you willingly getting up at that time? Like, what is wrong with you? He was like, no, I do my best work. And I was like, you call here at 5 a.m. and see what happens. Because only Jesus calls over here before 11. That's it. No one else. And listen, some of you know me. You call my house before 11. In the old days, I'd be like, Jesus, is that you? Mickey, you know. You never call me at that time, but you know. That was my line. Jesus, is that you? And they'd be like, no. And I'd be like, then why are you calling me before 11? You know better. What are you doing? Yes, I was a solid... No, he wasn't married. No, he definitely wasn't married. No, he had been in the service, and he got up at 5 a.m. to ride his bike and do his thing, you know, and I'm like, yeah, I do my thing in the evening. I work out after work. What are you doing? Anyway, but he had really great taste in reading. Like, he gave me one of my favorite books, which is called Shark Dialogues, and I absolutely love it. It's a great book, so highly recommend. Yeah, and then, okay, so Merman is sort of, again, all of my business out in the street. Merman is sort of a composite of different people. Yeah, I mean, it you know, it's kind of the same story with just a little bit of a different twist, you know. Some were young, so, you know, listen, I like younger men because, yeah, actually the guy that I wrote Merman about actually was like 2 years older than I am. But that's it, you know, yeah, they're usually young. No. The youngsters, all the other stuff, like Breathe and all the Stay, all the heavy shit, like, you know, which is probably safe. You know, sometimes, listen, I don't know about y'all artists out there, but sometimes the people that you write the best shit about, you are not meant to be with them. They are only there to inspire you. And I have told you all this story once before, but I'm going to tell you again because it still makes me laugh. So, you know, listen. So, no, but that's all the other stuff. So I met the youngster. I knew he was younger than I was, but I didn't know that he was, much younger than I am, because it made sense, right? It totally made sense. And we were totally cool. We were hanging out. It was really great. And, he's an incredible, incredible musician, and he's like my musical soulmate, hands down. So we're about 3 weeks in, right? And he's like, yo, my parents are going to be in town. I really want you to meet them. I was like, cool. He's like, yeah, they're musicians too. And I was like, this is awesome. Like, how great would this be if I am in this, musical family? Y'all, I looked at his mom, and I was like, she started talking about stuff from the 80s, and I was like, ma'am. Anyway, she's 2 years older than I am, and I was like, sweetie, I can't. I was full grown too, like I was 40, and I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, how old are you? And I was like, I'm 40. And he was like, what? He said, you can't be 40. I said, no, I'm 40. I said, how old are you? And he was like, I'm 22. And I was like, dear God, no. How is it? Ma'am. Kid you not. I kid you not. Like, musical soulmate, all of that. And, listen, probably last lifetime or something, whatever. Anyway, yeah. That's too young even for me. Like, that's just is too much. It's too much. Okay, shut up, Terry. The story is lit. Yeah, it is a little bit older than 20, but still, he's like, baby, I can't, I don't know what I could give you. And I'm like, well, yeah, but his parents are great. I love them to this. I love him to this day. He's incredible and amazing and all of that. It's just, yeah, I'm glad you made it to today, because I don't usually talk, I don't usually talk about, okay, my mom is saying to you, yes, you do talk about all your personal business. You just put it all out in the street. She used to be in my shows going, oh God, I hope she doesn't do that song where she cusses again. And I'm like, what? Oh, wait, I hear you mentally sending me that I should do that song. She was like, that's too much. It's too much. Is it? Listen, Maria, you know why they give you rhythm? Because they're not tired. They're not. Oh, there aren't any older men on here. Listen, they have energy. They don't have a shit ton of oh, sorry, Mom, I'm cussing again. They don't have a shit ton of baggage, like usually. They're not all hung up. They're not all, yeah. Never too much, never too much. Right, exactly. Aunt Martha's eye roll. Yeah, Mick. My mother could roll her eyes at me like nobody else. She would always just, and then the sigh. Always the sigh. She'd be like, oh, God. Yeah. And, as a child, she would watch me thinking that I was the bad seed. She was like, I knew that I had brought the bad seed into the world. I was like, Mother, was I that bad? And she was like, ma'am, really? Is this what we're doing? Is it really that bad? Well, I'm just saying. Are you? Listen, y'all, I got stories. Like, I got stories. You want to hear stories? Yeah, I met this young tap dancer one time, and he was fantastic. I was like, wow, he's really incredible. And I told him we were doing this gig together, and he's like, man, listen, I would love to come over and I could tap while you're playing. And I was like, oh, that sounds great. I just want y'all to know that he showed up with no tap shoes. I was like, where are your tap shoes? He was like, yeah, no, I'm good. He was like, I just came here because I wanted to talk to you and I just needed an opening. I was like, sir. Right. I was like, oh, tapping. Oh, tapping. I get it. Oh. Listen, I got a million of them. It's just what it is, you know. And yeah, I did go out with one older man. I should probably not say his name, and I won't. But we went out, and he was like, "You're the oldest woman I've ever been out with." And I said, "Well, you know what? You're the oldest man I've ever been out with, so we're even." Yeah, that was one of the most fun dates I've ever had, because we flat out cussed each other out the whole night. The whole night. It was so much fun. I was like, God, I had no idea that you were this much fun. But then things got weird, and a youngin' came around and it was like, oh, I need this energy. Listen, you know my mother was the strict one. Oh my God, my mother and Karen's mother, Karen Feld, Karen, you met Karen? Our mothers would compete to see who could be the strictest. They'd be like, oh, you know, I see you on not letting her ever leave outside, and I raised that by 20. Seriously. And, you know, I love your mom, because I would not be... Oh, my mother? Oh, dear God. Every day, she'd be like, you know, I hope that you get one that's just like you. I do. I hope you get that. I said, well, you know what? That's not going to happen. I said, because I'm not having any. And she was like, oh, it's too bad, but if you do, I hope you get one that is just like you. And I have one that is just like me. The other two are the good parts of me. That middle one, I don't know if either one of us are gonna survive this. Seriously. Yeah, I'm not sure. She also, you know what? She did make this. Of course she did. She's laughing. I can hear her laughing right now. She said, you know what else I'm going to do when you have children? I said, what, Mom? She said, I'm going to send them Play-Doh. I was like, my children are never having Play-Doh. She said, oh, yes, they are. Because when I have grandchildren, I will teach them how to grind it into the carpet. Ma'am, no, you will not, because they will not be having Play-Doh. You will not send them Play-Doh. And she was like, oh, yes, I will. Because I will know where they live, and I will give it to them. I said, well, I won't allow it in my house. And she said, how will you know? Right? And here we are. Because the middle one, she knows everything. Everything. And I remember being from the time I was about 7 until, you know, probably a couple years before she died, and, you know, right before my godmother passed, you know. But they used to call me Psych. Would you think that's because I was a psychiatrist? Psychotic? Encyclopedia. As in, you think you know everything. I was like, well, kinda. A lot of it I do. I'm just saying. I mean, I didn't say it out loud. Because for those of you who know my mother and who were also afraid of her when she would come pick me up at school, Robert Daly, listen, and people weren't afraid of her because she wasn't scary. No. I was scared of her. I remember Moran and I were talking about this before he died. We were cracking up because he was like, you're still scared of Mom. Because I was going to change something in the house, and I was like, oh, no, I'm not trying to have her come back up. He was like, you're still scared of Mom. I said, you're scared of Mom too. He's like, damn right. He was like, oh, sorry, Mom. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, and my mom, everybody was like, she used to laugh so much because her students would always pull me aside and be like, oh my God, I wish your mom was my mom. I was like, really? Because I'll trade you. We could trade. And they were like, no, your mom is... What's up, Tommy? You know, You were scared too. Yeah. Listen. You. Yes, you know the many ills of Plato, I'm sure. And I'm sure Marion was not having that either. It is scary to move their things. It is scary to move their things. Listen, and I know she's here. Oh, Nietzsche, you just missed the whole conversation about that. My mom and, you know, the fear factor. And, you know, like, my dad was, so my mom was kind of, you know, just frantic and a little uptight. My dad was like super laid back and super cool and liked everybody. You know that song, my mama don't like you and she likes everyone. Right. Well, it's kind of the opposite. Like, you were lucky if my mom liked you. And, you know, but my dad liked everybody and he was super nice. And I remember, like, one day my mom was, you know, doing some frantic shit and he was like, you know, your mother thinks she runs shit. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah. Uh-huh. And I let her think that. I was like, wow, look at you. I mean, like the slow hand clapping and everything. I mean, I was like, dude. Yeah, my dad was, he was a sweetheart. He had the biggest heart. He really did. He was such a sweet. I mean, and you know, it's so funny. Like, my mom she didn't understand him until after he was gone. And I felt so bad for her. I was like, man, you didn't even know what you had, man. You had the best. You got the best. You got the best thing ever. And you didn't even really totally. We were all scared of my mom. Come on. Yeah. But not only was he not afraid, apparently he was running shit. I was like, that is impressive. And I remember one time I was in the car with Shauna. It was like the first time I ever heard him, like, and he didn't raise his voice or anything. And my mother was doing her thing. She was like, well, you know, Marion, if we just take this, if we just go this way, and if we, and she was all, and he was like, maybe I don't want to go that way. And me and Shauna were like, oh shit. It was so funny. It was like the funniest thing ever. They were hilarious. Like, they were really funny. 50 years of hilarity, like, just ridiculous. My mom told me, like, so she said one night my dad was trying to sleep and she was just talking to him. He was like, you are not talking about anything, nothing. I need to go to sleep. And she was like, okay, go to sleep. So the next morning when he got to work and went to change his shoes, he had red toenails. I was like, y'all are hilarious. So, yeah, but it worked. You know, kind of opposites and... yeah, listen, my mom and my godmother, they could hold a grudge. Like, before my mom passed, my godmother and my mom had been mad at each other. And I was like, listen, y'all are tripping. Y'all are in your 80s. You're in your 80s. Get it together, right? They had been mad at each other and didn't even remember why they were mad. And I was like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And so finally my godmother marched herself over here and they were cool, you know, for about 6 months. And then my mom had her stroke and I was so glad that they, you know, had that moment. But yeah, I mean, the toenails, listen. And it's funny because growing up, yeah, my mom patrolled all night too. Like, she didn't sleep. She would come home, you know, she would drop us off at our various activities, which I don't even know how she was doing that. You know, ballet, music, whatever. And then she would come home and take a nap. And then she would put us, okay, love you too, Mick. She would put us to bed. And then she would stay up all night cleaning the house, right? Which I also understand, you know, I do my best in this house, right? I will never be able to keep a museum quality house. It will never happen. My mother's house was always clean. It always smelled good. And she was working full time and raising kids and being married. And I'm like, how are these people doing this? Like, what, how? You know, but here we are. Here we are. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't even know how we got here. I just started talking. Confessional. Listen, my mom would be up vacuuming and stuff and doing, okay. And her favorite thing. So my mother decided that she was going to take music lessons. When I finally was able to take music lessons, because I've been playing for years. Like, you know, I started playing when I was like 2.5, and then somebody finally took me at 5, and that was a whole other thing. And so my mom would come and play this song called Swaying Daffodils. It's a really pretty song. And she said I would yell at her from upstairs. I am so scared. I would yell at her from upstairs and be like, can't you hear that's not right? So finally she was just ashamed and she stopped, because I was like, stop. And then I was in church at Holy Rosary, you know, the same place where I got in trouble for imitating Father Bland in the body of Christ. And my mother, it was Christmas and we were at church, and my mother started singing, and she had always lip synced. So my mother was completely tone deaf, like completely. And so she was singing, and I was like, because apparently I thought that everybody had perfect pitch, right? And my father looked at me and he was like, fix your face. Fix your face. He's like, look straight ahead. Don't look at her. And I was like, oh my God, what just happened? Like, really? So, yeah. Anyway. My mother does not, she knows it now, thanks that you just told her. Oh my God. Yeah, she had seen the movie, and she said she'd come and look in the crib and be like, I was like, really? You thought I was that bad? And she was like, remember the bracelet? And I was like, ooh, yeah. She was like, remember the Lazy Susan? I was like, ooh, yeah. I don't know if I told you the Lazy Susan story, but she had, well, it's still here. She has this beautiful, you know, sterling silver Lazy Susan with these beautiful, you know, like crystal things that go in it. So there were 4 of those crystal things. And now there are only 3, because I don't know why I decided to throw it. I mean, I think, and she said to me, she said, don't throw it. And I was like, oh, she means throw it on the wall. So I threw it against the wall, and then I got a spanking. I was probably about 3 or 4. Yeah. Anyway, I totally miss my parents and my brother. But stories are fun. I wanna go where the leaves don't fall, travel to places that I don't know, get lost a little, and I wanna see from the other side, lay in the grass with some peace of mind, get lost a little. Oh no, I went in the cabinet and got it. Yeah, I you know, I mean, when I tell these stories, I'm like, damn, she's probably right. It probably was the bad seed. And I wasn't really afraid of anything, so it was a problem. Except her, because she was scary. I think I told y'all the other day that I went to this church with my neighbor. He's a pastor. And he had given me directions, and I was on my way, and I got to this intersection, and I was like, I totally had a flashback, because I had been working my mother's nerves all day, like all day, from the back seat, just, and I just remember her, she didn't say anything, right? She pulled that car over and got in the back seat with me and spanked me, and I was like, oh my God. And for those of you who are from San Bernardino, it was over there by the Culligan. It used to be the Culligan water place. Yes, I will never forget that, even though that's not over there anymore and there's no sign and anything. I hadn't been over there in years, and I was like, oh God, I remember. Anyway. All right, so I talked to you for like, how old was I? Ooh, it was before Marin was born, so I was probably about 4. Because I'm trying to remember, maybe, no, I don't think he was in the car. I was probably about 4. And he and I had a whole thing of our own, because, he was always, as Nieto would say, Little Lord Fauntleroy with his, beautiful ruffles and his beautiful curls and, yeah. And I was just kind of savage, just a little bit. Like, I like to be dressed, and I didn't like to be dirty. But I also like to climb in the hills with the boy that lived next door, and I used to get in trouble. And my dad was like, don't tell your mom. Just go and do what you got to do. And don't tell her. And then she'd open the door, and I'd be like, I was in the hills again. Yeah. Anyway, I love y'all. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great evening. Stay out of trouble. Don't be the bad seed. Be love, right? Be love. I mean, but there's hope. There's hope. We can all go from being the bad seed to being the better seed. Anyway, I love y'all. Pray for peace, people everywhere. Release for the captives. Hit my tip jar. Hit my tip jar. I can't, hit my tip jar, y'all. Hit my tip jar. And I will see you tomorrow. Yes. Thank you for listening to my stories. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Have a wonderful evening, and I will see you tomorrow. I love y'all. Listen, if you want a night of just, listen, I got stories. And I want to okay, I know I'm going on and on. I want to do this one-woman show, so, I probably need to get comfortable with telling these crazy stories from my life. So if y'all like that, I will certainly do that. Maybe we'll just have one night a week where I just, tell my craziest, wildest stories. Yeah? All right, Maria. Maria, feel better. Tommy, I love you. Love y'all. I will see you soon. Bye, Simone.